you have the book Black Ink, and man, what a find that was. It's about Panama Al Brown, the first Latin American boxing world champion, as well as the first gay boxing champion.
I don't know if he was the first gay champion.
Well, the first one openly gay, is that? Oh,
no, I don't know who was gay before him, but he was definitely openly gay, though.
Okay.
I don't know. Right. They might have been someone else, in the back before him. I remember when I was younger, the old timers used to say Stanley Ketchel used to dress in drag. Right? I don't know if he was gay, though, right? But they said that he used to dress like a woman sometimes, right?
Wow.
So I don't know. I mean, that's just what they said. I can't prove it or not prove it. But John Cocteau, who was Panama Brown's partner, he wrote a lot about him and Al Brown. So it's pretty much well known. That's pretty much out in the open.
Okay. Can you tell me about the book? Tell me more or less to get the fans excited why they should read this book.
Man, they should read it because he went through so much, and I guess you could say he opened doors, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, when boxing came into Latin America a little bit later than the United States, right? It's like, I'm not counting bare knuckle. I'm going to count like when the gloved era started, right?
Okay.
So it was like 25 years later.
Mm-hmm.
But how quickly they started becoming champs was kind of phenomenal, and he was one of the first ones to do it.
No. Mm-hmm.
And the first few fighters from Latin America kind of got jerked. Very controversial losses. 4 of the first 5. Firpo against Dempsey, and he knocked Dempsey out the ring. Dempsey himself admitted he got help coming back in the ring, which some people say was against the rules, some say it wasn't against the rules. Whatever, it was controversial, right?
Yeah.
And then Santiago Zorrilla fought Todd Morgan. That fight was a draw. A lot of people said Santiago should have won. Panamanian guy.
Panamanian.
Yeah. And then there was, it might have been Al Brown. I know a guy from Chile, Ruti Espada, fought for a belt, but he got stopped. He wasn't coming close to winning.
Okay.
And I think Al Brown was next. I think Al Brown was the next one, and he won a version of the NBA title, but then a lot of people didn't want to recognize him as the champ.
Why not?
I'm going to assume that it was because he was gay. And the reason why I'm assuming that is because in the Spanish newspapers, there was an American writer who couldn't get that article printed in the United States, but he got printed in Madrid. And he said that Al Brown, the commission at the time, Edward Mohun, I think was his name, right? New York State Commissioner. The way he described him, I'm going to use exact words, he was like vomiting expletives, is what they were saying about Al Brown, and calling him disgusting, all of this. So Al Brown was pretty feminine. And it seems like they weren't ready for that as a boxing champ.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was the reaction of the public? What was the reaction of the fans when he won his title? Or
Well, I mean, as a fighter, they all liked him. Now they were split personal-wise, so he encountered a lot of racism. There was some racism, right? He was a black guy in the 1920s. His father was an American slave who went to Panama to work on the canal, and his mom was from the French islands, Martinique.
Mm-hmm.
So he was Spanish. He could speak English because his pop spoke English, but he had like an accented English. So a black gay immigrant, and there's like a couple of strikes against him, 1920s, right? In America, that's
yeah.
So there were a lot of fans that didn't like him. There's reports of people not wanting to use the gym or the showers after he used it.
Interesting,
right? And a lot of fans would like throw bananas at him when he was coming into the ring. They were spitting on him and everything. And I don't want to give the whole book away, but
yeah. It's definitely a must read.
He had his circle though. Up in Harlem, he was hanging with Langston Hughes and that crowd. And in France, he had his circle also. He performed on stage with Josephine Baker, for example, Eugene Bullard. They all, he had friends, right? He was popular, but there was a strong, big, almost divided almost right down the middle, like a love-hate relationship.
That's interesting. That's interesting. Well, now you're working on 2 books. Oh, well, first, before I get off Black Ink, man, his story I think should be like a Netflix series.
Yeah,
or
it
something,
should be, man. It's
a
like
documentary or something.
Like 6 people reached out to us, and one of them was about to get the ball rolling, but then some knucklehead got greedy on our side and kept trying to raise the price and was like, oh, if they're giving us 50, they could give us 60. If they're giving us 60, they could give us 70. And it just sabotaged that whole thing. So
that's terrible, man.
Then, you know, they act like they did nothing wrong. Like, hey, I was trying to get the best deal, whatever. But let's see, man. Maybe the future holds something in store for that.
Hey, man, we this podcast about to go crazy, man.
Okay.
So
no, he deserves a story. He's you know, I just hope that whoever does it properly, right? Doesn't try to exploit the guy, because the guy was exploited enough in his life. The last thing we need to do is exploit him in the afterlife, like this knucklehead was doing with trying to get rich off of him. It's like the guy's been dead 170 years. Let him rest in peace, man. What are you trying to... You didn't even write the book. What you trying to get all crazy for?
That's wild.
Now, I don't want to say the guy's name. Anyway, even if I try to say the name, it's going to come out like a curse. But whatever, I may have to deal with him again. And if we do, we'll start with a clean slate, and hopefully we could get something done.
Man, I'm hoping you guys could come to some happy medium, because... you know,
it's a great story.
It's a great story, and if you know, I think the community, I think anybody who watches it would enjoy.
I think so too.
Yeah, because if you read the book, it's a good book, and it needs to be told. I feel visually as well.
It should be. I agree. Now they did do one story on him in Spanish. I haven't gotten able to see it yet. I don't even think it was like released theatrically, but they do have something. It's called Brown.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't checked it out. I'll check it out.